What's going on, guys? Zuko back with another Dragonflight video. Hope you are all doing very well. I want to talk about some of the changes that are coming for Enhancement Shaman and the 10.1.5 PTR, which we know is coming July 11th, right? So it's coming very soon. A couple of weeks, basically. Maybe 3 weeks by now. So there are some changes coming for Enhancement Shaman in particular. There's a bunch of changes coming to a lot of different classes, but I want to highlight the ones for Enhanced. We're going to look at this right here. Make this a little bit bigger for you. Yeah, let's go there. Okay. So there's a lot of changes coming. Oh, wait, it took all of them nowhere. But I'm going to focus a couple of things here. Number one, we'll talk about the changes to like Vamp Embrace, Nature's Vigil, Ancestor Guidance in a different video. Don't worry about that. I want to talk about the change to the tier set bonus for Enhancement Shaman and some of the regular abilities. So we're going to look at that right now. The for elementals it up here. Shaman, Elemental, Enhanced. So here we go. We want to encourage players to replace their Dragonflight Season 1 set with the new Season 2 set and are lowering the haste value from the set in Season 1. So some people are still using like 2-piece from the old set or even the 4-piece, but a lot of people are still using like 2-piece of the Season 1 set, 2-piece of the Season 2 set. Blizzard wants to get rid of that. They want you to use the entire tier set from the Season 2. And then here's the big stuff that they're doing. The Season 2 set has introduced some interactions with chain lightning where the spell might be used even on single target encounters, so we're reducing the Season 2 set bonus interaction to keep chain lightning as a spell only to use on multiple enemies. This is really important. I'll get to this in a minute. We are increasing the damage of your core melee attacks, which will boost your damage up to compensate for the tier set value adjustment and make your damage profile less reliant on the Dragonflight set bonus. So they're buffing the Shaman abilities and reducing the effectiveness of the tier set bonus. This is a permanent change that will continue into further seasons, which is actually pretty good. The combination of all these changes should increase your single target damage slightly while keeping your AoE damage roughly the same. We'll see if that's true. Here's what's happening. Storm Strike and Wind Strike are going up by 20%. Lava Lash going up by 20%. Ice Strike damage up by 20%. Aberrus, the Shadow Crucible 4-set bonus as the current tier, Season 2 tier, has been adjusted. The next two Chain Lightning casts now deal 20% increased damage instead of 100% increased damage. So that is a massive difference. It doesn't do double damage anymore. It only does 20%. Let's see what that means. If I press Sundering, it'll give me the Chain Lightning buff, right? Let's look at Chain Lightning right now. Chain Lightning does 13,000 nature damage. Lightning Bolt does 23,000 nature damage. So if I press Sundering, this Chain Lightning used to go up to 26,000 damage. It only goes up to 18,500 damage now. Whereas Lightning Bolt is still 27,000. It's 27,000. This is only 18,000. This would have been like 35,000 or 34,000 versus the 27,000 of Lightning Bolt. So it was still, you know, the way it is right now on live servers, it was worth it to press Chain Lightning even on single target because it did so much more damage. Now, that is not the case. So whenever you press Sundering now and you get your buff on single target fights, you are going to press Lightning Bolt now, not Chain Lightning. Even though Chain Lightning's glowing at you, and you kind of want to press it, you should not. You should absolutely press a Lightning Bolt. It's going to do way more damage for you. Okay, so that's the first kind of massive change that has come through, is that you're not going to want to use Chain Lightning on single target damage anymore. So what is the AoE damage like then? Let's take a look at it. How much has the AoE damage changed? We're going to take a quick look here and do some damage on the dummies and kind of see what it's like, okay? Because what they said was Storm Strike and Ice Strike are buffed by 20%. I have both of those abilities, okay? Here's the talents that I'm using. I have Converging Storms now. Each target hit by Crash Lightning. So we're trying to index a little bit more into Storm Strike damage to see how good it is. Here's the build. I'm not running Swirling Maelstrom. I am running Converging Storms. Let's see what it does here. Get our totem down again. We'll go Wolves into this. We'll do a Crash. Then we go Doom Winds into Sundering. Now, we are going to use our Chain Lightning here because it's obviously an AoE pack, and we want to use Chain Lightning. So you can see we're still doing like 300k. We have a really big burst window still. And if we get a proc on Ascendance, then it's obviously going to be even better. And our Storm Strike damage is going to end up being pretty good. Not the best. I'm going to use an Ice Strike now. Here we go. I don't know what's with these yellow icons down below. This is, I hope this isn't what happens in the new patch because it's just kind of weirding me out. But anyway, it's fine. There's a proc there. We're going to keep pressing it. Going to keep pressing it because it's proccing. Get our wolves out. Press it one more time. There you go. There's our AoE damage there. So we're kind of settling. We'll get one more Sundering in here. Boom, Sundering. I'll do a Storm Strike. Get it out of the way. Reset it. Storm Strike again. Crash Lighting. And then Chain Lighting to get it done. And you can see we're at like 240k. Probably depending. If I had Lust and stuff, it'd be like 250k. So the sustained AoE damage is still there, guys. It's still very much there. I would not worry about it at all. You're still going to do lots and lots of damage. I don't think you're going to have as big of a burst window anymore that you used to. Like right now, if I go into like an Uldamon, the first opening pack in Uldamon will give me like a 400 to 500k like burst window. It's insane, right? So I don't think you're going to have that anymore. You might have like a 300 to 350k burst window, maybe 400 if you're playing really well, if you get a proc on DRE. But realistically, it's not going to be as good as it was, and that's okay. Because your consistent AoE damage is still going to be there. The only thing you're missing now is when you press Sundering, those next two Chain Lightnings aren't going to be Giga Slam Chain Lightnings. So you can see the damage here. Chain Lightning still our top button. Crash Lightning, Wind Fury, Alpha, Sundering, Storm Strike doing about 6%. The offhand included makes it 6, 7. It's about 8.5%, right? So not bad. 8.5% for Storm Strike, and then you have to include Wind Strike as well, right? Because Wind Strike is a part of that, and the offhand. So that ends up being another 1.4. 8.5 plus 1.4. That's about 10% of our damage now coming from Storm Strike, okay, on an AoE pack. So I do think that you can feel the physical buff to Storm Strike there. I didn't cast Ice Strike very much, so I wasn't really cashing in on that bonus. But you're going to cash in more on this on single target. And let me look at the single target here really quickly. So let's go look at this over here. I'll put my totem down again. We're going to get our wolves going. And I'll show you the single target buff. Remember, we're not going to press Chain Lightning in single target encounters anymore because it's not worth it. So we're going to go Wolves, Anvil. I'm going to crash just because I do that. And then we're going to go Storm Strike into Sundering. Okay. Now we have 10. Oh, I pressed Chain Lightning instinctively. I'm so sorry. That's a mistake. Lightning Bolt. Here we go. We're doing it. Now, Chain Lightning is going to stay lit up. This is going to be very annoying, in my opinion, on single target fights because the game is telling you to press Chain Lightning, even though you know you shouldn't, because it's better to press your Lightning Bolt. It's just going to be always better now. So it's a little bit annoying that way. But anyway, we're pressing Lightning Bolt. We got a proc on our DRE. There we go. We're going to go here. And you can see the damage is fine. We're actually a little bit below 100k, and that is a little bit annoying. I was at 100k earlier. I had a couple of better procs. But anyway, we're back in our window. We'll go Sundering, and then we'll press Lightning Bolt, not Chain Lightning. Lightning Bolt, there we go. We got a reset. Got another Storm Strike. That's good. DRE proc. Let's go. Big damage there because we get the Lightning Bolts out in the Sundering window. So very good. And there you go. We're like 95k. Again, my Chain Lightning's lit up. I really hate that. I wish they would change it. I don't know how they could possibly change that, but I really kind of wish they would. So our Wolves are back. We'll go one more round of Doom Winds plus Sundering here. But again, the build feels largely similar. You just have to make sure that you're pressing Lightning Bolt and never press Chain Lightning on a single target fight. Now, if there's more than one target, it's probably still worth it to press Lightning Bolt, or Chain Lightning, sorry. I bet you if there's more than one target, it's probably better. Oh, we got a proc there. Another proc. Wow. We'll get Sundering out, even though I didn't press Doom Winds. I'm just trying to... Oh, we got another proc. Are you kidding me? That's very, very lucky. This is... we're getting into unrealistic territory here now. The one thing I do really like about this, for single target fights, is that often when I was on a single target fight, because Chain Lightning did double damage, I had to press it. But then I wanted to make sure that I pressed Lightning Bolt eventually so that I could get ready if a DRE proc happened. Like if I pressed Chain Lightning on a single target boss because it did double damage and it was worth pressing, and then Deeply Rooted procced, I would be throwing Chain Lightnings at the enemy, unbuffed Chain Lightnings. And then it felt really bad. I was like, frig, I gotta like squeeze in a Lightning Bolt here so that I can get my Ascendance procs throwing out Lightning Bolts, not Chain Lightning. So that was really annoying. That's not gonna be a problem anymore. That's not gonna be a problem at all because you're just always gonna be pressing Lightning Bolt in single target. So that little problem, which actually was a serious problem eventually, that's gonna get fixed, and that's really cool. So you can see On the single target fight, Storm Strike and Storm Strike offhand ends up being about 11% of our damage. Wind Strike offhand ends up another 11%. So Storm Strike's going to be like 22, 23% of our damage, just behind Lightning Bolt. So a lot of damage there. It's very good. And I think, you know, this is basically for a Mythic Plus environment where you have to do boss damage. You're going to be doing, I would say, 90 to 100k, depending on your how many procs of DRE you're getting, sorry, and if you have Lust. If you have Lust up, you're going to get above 100k. I wouldn't worry about that at all. So I think the single target damage has gone up a little bit for sure, because you're pressing Storm Strike a lot and it's getting extra damage, and you're pressing Lightning Bolt now exclusively in single target, which is going to give you more damage. And if you proc Deeply Rooted, you don't have to worry about the shenanigans of like having to press Chain Lightning or Lightning Bolt. In AoE, I think we definitely lost a little bit of burst AoE in particular. Like when you start that big pack and your tank pulls like 10 mobs in like a freehold, and you Lust and you go Wolves, Doomwinds, Sundering, double Chain Lightning, that moment where you would be getting a ton of extra burst damage doesn't hit the same way as it used to. So I think a little bit less AoE, and the single target has gone up though for sure, which I think is great, because the sustained AoE damage is still fantastic. You're still going to sustain like 200k AoE damage on most packs that are like bigger than 5 mobs. Like, you're going to be able to get up there with your numbers if you have a decent amount of item level like I do. Okay, so that's it, guys. That's it for the changes for Enhancement Shaman. Pretty significant changes. I think mentally the way you play the build now is going to be a little bit better, because on single target you don't have to do those Chain Lightnings anymore. You don't have to worry about getting the Lightning Bolt back and triggering DRE. I think that it just works a little bit better now, and I understand why Blizzard changed it. They didn't want us pressing Chain Lightning in single target. It's fine. Overall, I don't think it's really a nerf. I think it's probably a wash, because they buffed Storm Strike and Ice Strike and Lava Lash, depending on what abilities you use. They buffed Wind Strike damage as well. So that's all really good. That's more consistent damage that you're doing throughout the entire dungeon. They nerfed the big burst window that you have. That is going to go down a little bit. So you're going to see if the tank pulls some gigantic pull and you have all your cooldowns up, the burst damage will go down a little bit. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Let me hear from you guys on this conversation about Enhancement Shaman and the changes that are coming in 10.15. I would love to hear from you. Overall, I think it's going to be okay. I would not worry too much about it. All right. Thank you guys so much again for watching. I love you all. I will see you in the next one.